The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could do only a little. The greater the power, the more dangerous the abuse. All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent. It is not what a lawyer tells me I may do, but what humanity, reason, and justice tell me I ought to do. He that wrestles with us strengthens our nerves and sharpens our skill. Our antagonist is our helper, to make us love our country ought to be lovely, but the age of chivalry is gone. That of sophisters, economists, and calculators has succeeded, and the glory of Europe is extinguished forever. Education is the cheap defense of nations, bad laws are the worst sort of tyranny. A spirit of innovation is generally the result of a selfish temper and confined views. People will not look forward to posterity, who never look backward to their ancestors, but what is liberty without wisdom, and without virtue? It is the greatest of all possible evils, for it is folly, vice, and madness, without tuition or restraint. When the leaders choose to make themselves bidders at an auction of popularity, their talents, in the construction of the state, will be of no service. They will. It is the nature of all greatness not to be exact. The effect of liberty to individuals is that they may do what they please. We ought to see what it will please them to do, before we risk congratulations. All government, indeed every human benefit and enjoyment, every virtue, and every prudent act, is founded on compromise and barter. Magnanimity in politics is not seldom the truest wisdom, and a great empire and little minds go ill together. Passion for fame, a passion which is the instinct of all great souls, when bad men combine, the good must associate, else they will fall one by one, an unpitied sacrifice in a contemptible struggle. If we command our wealth, we shall be rich and free. If our wealth commands us, we are poor indeed. We must all obey the great law of change. It is the most powerful law of nature. No passion so effectually robs the mind of all its powers of acting and reasoning as fear. To read without reflecting is like eating without digesting. Example is the school of mankind, and they will learn at no other. Hypocrisy can afford to be magnificent in its promises, for never intending to go beyond promise, it costs nothing. People crushed by laws have no hope but to evade power. If the laws are their enemies, they will be enemies to the law, and those who have most to hope and nothing to lose will always be dangerous. The first and simplest emotion which we discover in the human mind is curiosity. The people never give up their liberties but under some delusion. Your representative owes you, not his industry only, but his judgment, and he betrays instead of serving you if he sacrifices it to your opinion. Whatever disunites man from God, also disunites man from man. To tax and to please, no more than to love and to be wise, is not given to men. In a democracy, the majority of the citizens is capable of exercising the most cruel oppressions upon the minority. It is ordained in the eternal constitution of things, that men of intemperate minds cannot be free. Their passions forge their fetters. Nobility is a graceful ornament to the civil order. It is the Corinthian capital of polished society. Whenever a separation is made between liberty and justice, neither, in my opinion, is safe. Nothing turns out to be so oppressive and unjust as a feeble government. Religion is essentially the art and the theory of the remaking of man. Man is not a finished creation. Society can overlook murder, adultery, or swindling. It never forgives preaching of a new gospel. A disposition to preserve, and an ability to improve, taken together, would be my standard of a statesman. Poetry is the art of substantiating shadows, and of lending existence to nothing. Justice is itself the great standing policy of civil society, and any eminent departure from it, under any circumstances, lies under the suspicion of being no policy at all. There is but one law for all, namely that law which governs all law, the law of our Creator, the law of humanity, justice, equity, the law of nature and of nations. The true danger is when liberty is nibbled away, for expedience.